Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by Badger Max Premium Sports Drinks. Drink it to the max. Northwest Surgery Center. Menards. And by Wisconsin Lutheran College. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome to the Badger Max Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Northwest Surgery Center. We're live at Brookfield Central as the 4-0 Lancers take on the 4-0 Spartans from Brookfield East. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike McGivern. I'm with Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan, and this is the Fan pregame show. I'm joined by the two head coaches tonight's game, Ben Farley with Brookfield East, Jed Kennedy with Brookfield Central. Jed, let me start with you. Pretty young team that you have. 4-0, great start, obviously, the season. Feeling pretty good about these boys?
Well, I don't know if I ever feel really good about them. That's my personality. But, it's been a little bit of a surprise. We lost 16 starters from last year in a great senior class. Don't have great numbers in our senior class. And just been really happy with how the young kids in the program have responded to the way we want to play the game of football and the way that we coach them up. And off to a good start, but certainly haven't played anybody to the status of the team we're playing tonight.
Hey, Coach, a couple of things. First, congratulations. You got married on Saturday. Congratulations. First-year head coach at Brookfield. He's 4-0, off to obviously a great start. How you feeling about this year's group?
I'll just echo what Jed just told you. You never feel quite really good about where you're at. You're always looking to improve. We're coming into this game a little banged up, but we're happy with the 4-0 start as opposed to alternative, and we're really excited about the opportunity tonight playing a really good football team.
Hey, Jed, Brookfield East, Brook Central, you're used to some rivalry games. You're down at Bradford. This one is as intense as anyone that I think you're going to find, certainly in southeast Wisconsin. Your players get fired up a little bit more for a game like this?
Yeah, I think, what's got our kids fired up is, this is the last time we played this team, we didn't win the game. And that's what we're fired up about. And anytime that happens, regardless who it is, you're kind of waiting for that next match to play those people. So, with that being said, these kids played Little League together. They played, junior football against each other. Some of them probably went to middle school and elementary school together. Their parents are mutual friends. So when you throw that on top, it's a really big night for the community. And I'm excited, when you see both student sections wearing yellow. And unfortunately, childhood cancer is something that's out there. And when you have a big event like this and we can use this as a platform to help promote something like that, I think a night like tonight, nobody loses.
You bet. Coach, a few years ago, I did one of my shows here at Brookfield, and we were at a remote, and I asked some kids from Brookfield East. I said, if I circled one game every year for you guys to get a win, who would it be? And one kid said Marquette, and the other four guys said Brookfield Central. So you know exactly what this game means, not only to your team, but to this community. Your kids, different week of practice for you guys, because they certainly know that Brookfield Central is the rivalry game.
Absolutely. You grow up and it's right across the tracks, and that's your biggest rivalry. So it is a huge game. Kids grew up together and compete against one another, but at the same time, it's one game. It's one game. So we're going to take it at that, and we got a huge challenge on our hands, but we're excited for the opportunity.
Guys, I'm going to cut you guys loose. I really appreciate your time. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, John Weiser and Terry Kelly will get you the keys to the game. This is the Badger Max Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, only on My 24.
Welcome back to Brookfield Central High School. Tonight, a Greater Metro Conference clash between the two Brookfield schools. It's Brookfield East against Brookfield Central. Hello again, everyone. Along with Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you as we get set for this, I don't know what you call this thing. This is a war. It's the Battle of Brookfield. There are so many storylines here tonight that we could spend a whole half hour on pregame.
Well, this is the perfect soap opera, but the thing that you can't deny, the team that wins this game almost guarantees themselves a spot in the playoffs right now.
And the two undefeated teams, 2-0, part of a three-way tie in the Greater Metro Conference. Marquette thrown in there as well. So very important game as far as the standings are concerned.
Right. It's the fifth game of the season. It's the midpoint. You want to make sure you're heading in the right direction.
Let's talk about the players we're going to follow here tonight. And for Brookfield East, I'm telling you, it's a medical ward, really. We weren't sure who we were going to see here tonight, but with their offense, it does start with Sam Santiago-Lloyd.
Right, we listed 3 players to watch an offense because we weren't sure Sam was going to play. He's going to give it a go. Justin Parbs, we could find him at wide receiver, could be at running back, could be at quarterback, and they have an excellent offensive tackle, Max Aslan.
Defensively for the Spartans, how do they stack up?
Well, they've got a wonderful defensive end, Caleb Wright, big body, moves very well, and their linebacker, Brad Dottie, in on about 28 tackles so far this year.
For Brookfield Central, we're going to feature a pair of players on offense, a couple of their specialties, Heckman and Gibson.
Zach Heckman has rushed already for almost 700 yards, and Thomas Gibson, outstanding receiver.
Very good defense. Jed Kennedy, known for his offensive prowess, but that defense pretty good too.
Reggie Jennings, only a junior, has already been offered by Madison, and Jaden Banda is a returning starter in the defensive backfield for him.
Turn now to our Badger Max keys to the ball game tonight. How do we have it drawn up for a victory tonight?
Well, Brookfield East thinks they have to use screens, quick passes, take advantage of the aggressiveness of Brook Central. They have to make sure they're not overwhelmed by the moment, and more than anything, they have to make sure they don't get fooled by Brookfield Central's deception.
And for Central tonight, what do they need to do?
They say they have to stop East big backs. They've got to make sure that they are staying on top of their depth. They got that as an advantage, and more than anything, they feel that offensively their line has to get to that second level.
These two teams split their last 6 meetings. A pair of games last year ended right here in the playoffs with East beating Central. We'll have the kickoff for you coming up next, our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Lancers Stadium, the site tonight between the Battle of Brookfield as the Brookfield Central Lancers take on the Brookfield East Spartans. Terry Kelly, John Weiser back up in the booth with you as we get set for our broadcast here tonight. Our entire My 24 sports crew on hand for this one. It's a great night for football here in southeast Wisconsin. Temperatures will be falling into the 60s as our game rolls on here tonight. Get a look at our officials here tonight. Gary Kufal is the referee for our crew here tonight. We're going to enjoy our national anthem tonight. The City of Brookfield Police Department Ceremonial Honor Guard Unit presenting the colors and the playing of our national anthem tonight by the BC Pep Band. Brookfield Central Pep Band with our national anthem. And again, thank you to the City of Brookfield Police Department Ceremonial Honor Guard Unit for presenting the colors here tonight. And a gorgeous night for football. It is just perfect for mid-September football here in southeast Wisconsin. Temperatures in the 60s. A bit breezy here early on. We expect that to settle down as the evening progresses. Our U.S. Marines game ball presentation tonight, that is Sergeant Nicholas Hodgkinson. He is presenting our game ball tonight to referee Gary Kufal and the officiating crew here tonight from the Greater Metro Conference. We thank Sergeant Nicholas Hodgkinson for his service to our country. You'll see a lot of gold in the stands here tonight. We wanted to make mention that this is their annual fundraiser here in Brookfield for childhood cancer. And they are raising money tonight, so both sides have shed the colors of red for the Brookfield East and blue for Brookfield Central. They've all joined together here for gold shirts in the student sections in both schools, wearing the gold shirts here tonight in support of fundraising here tonight for childhood cancer. They're going to have a special raffle at halftime tonight for that. They're going to call it the Miracle Minute, try and raise money here as well. So fantastic job by the Brookfield schools banding together.
Well, prior to the game, they had Representative mention how she had survived childhood cancer. Kind of puts everything in proper perspective. There's this game, but there are some other things in life, and it's really a compliment to both schools that they've recognized that and they're putting their efforts into doing some fundraising.
Well, we have a moment. Let's remind you that Badger Max Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's my24milwaukee.com. East wearing the white tonight. They will kick off going left to right. Central in the all blue with the white numerals. Cam Bauer teeing it up middle of the 40-yard line, I should say. Zach Heckman and Thomas Gibson are the deep men here for Central. And the run up and the kick, and we are underway. This will be Heckman muffing it at the 10, picks it up, and it's going to be buried there at the 12-yard line. Getting down there quickly for East was Dean Borngesser, the defensive back. Borngesser on special teams, setting the tone here for Brookfield East.
Now, these are guys whom they run into all week in Brookfield. This game is not just your common, ordinary Thursday night game.
Drew Lashinsky will start at quarterback here for Central. 6'1", 165-pound sophomore. You heard Jed Kennedy talk about a very small senior class, so they're counting on some of these younger guys to get things going here early on. And this is Heckman coming around the near side, trying to get across the 10, and he is met by a host of Brookfield East players. Good defense there, set up by Skylar Rashid, the defensive back, staying home here on the near side.
Well, as we mentioned at the start of the show, Heckman has rushed for almost 700 yards in 4 games, so he's obviously someone upon whom Brookfield East is going to focus.
Gain of 3 sets up 2nd down and 7 here for Central. Huge battle here tonight. Both teams come in at 4-0, 2-0 in the conference. A lot of storylines going to be written here tonight with these two schools as Lashinsky gets down low to take the snap. He'll fake the handoff, wants to throw. Circles to his right, dumps it out. Has the big man out there, makes the catch. Jimmy Rogers with a huge catch going out of bounds, far sideline across the 35-yard line.
Rogers, you'll see him not only catch passes, sometimes in the backfield, he'll bring him around in motion, give him the ball. This whole offense is predicated on lots of deception, many plays that look alike.
Gain of 13 and a 1st down for the Lancers. And again this season, 1st downs are sponsored by Wisconsin Lutheran College. As it'll be the handoff here to the first man through. That was Zach Heckman once again with the carry, taking it out shy of the 38-yard line. Again, 1st downs brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College, located in Milwaukee, a comprehensive Christian college offering 37 undergraduate majors and accelerated degree completion program for adult learners and graduate degree options. Learn more at WLC.edu. Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4. And they'll run around the sweep the far side this time. Heckman again with a nice run. Now they're starting to get that rhythm going on offense.
Right, and you watch the timing that Central displays in the backfield with people going in motion, faking handoffs and sweeps, quarterback keeping the ball. You're going to see a wide variety of plays run from a wide variety of formations.
Rashid there on the stop, 1st and 10 for Central. And this will be the quarterback, Lashinsky, going up the middle with it. And he's going to be denied there. A whole host of players there, including Max Aslin, the 6'3", 290-pound senior who we were told has committed.
Right before the game, one of the coaches told us that Max is committed to the Air Force Academy, so obviously not only an outstanding athlete, but a top-notch student.
Gain of 1 sets up 2nd and 9 for the Lancers. Opening possession here, opening drive. 9:55 to go here in the first quarter. Send a man in motion far side. That is Banda. Banda gets the call. Banda around the right side across midfield. into East territory and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Jaden Banda goes both ways. He'll play some on offense. That's a part of those different packages that Jed runs out there.
He's got about 7 different personnel packages that he rotates into the game, each one trying to make good use of a skill of one or more players.
He's got something called heavy. He's got something called jumbo. He's got speed. He's got regular. He's got all kinds of stuff. This is Heckman coming right around the near side. Gets it across the 40-yard line down to about the 39 where he is stopped there.
You're going to see they're also going to get up to the line rather quickly. One of the things that Central feels they have in their favor is they have depth. Number of East guys are going to have to play both ways, and so they're going to try to wear them down, have the tempo serve their purpose.
Lashinsky will get them set. Heckman in the backfield with him. A wingback split out here to the near side. They will send him in motion. And we've got a penalty marker down. Our first penalty of the ball game. Gibson was heading in motion, and there was movement up front. Gary Kufel, our referee tonight.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 67, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So 5-yard penalty moves it back, 2nd and 14. The ball back to the East 45-yard line. A little bit of a flinch there by, it looked like the right guard perhaps. So 2nd and 14 from the 45. Lashinsky going to put it up. Going to fire far side, completes the pass. Once again, it's Rogers. Rogers down the far sideline, inside the 20, wrestled down near the 15-yard line. Jimmy Rogers, 6'1", 175, a senior with another big catch and a big play as we head into the power zone.
Yeah, even though Central has rushed for over 1,300 yards this season, they've also passed for 550 or so, and they have a multifaceted offense.
32-yard gain puts them in the power zone, and we thank the good folks at Goodwill this season. When a team drives inside their opponent's 20, they will get into the power zone. Brought to you by Goodwill and the power of work, and another power run inside the 5, down to the 2. Once again, Heckman with a strong run. Good offensive start here for Brook Central tonight. So, again, our first down sponsored by Wisconsin Lutheran College. 1st and goal from the 2. Heckman will take it in. And touchdown, Brook Central.
That's his 13th rushing touchdown this year already, and this being the 5th game.
He's been very busy, averaging almost 8 yards per carry coming into the game here tonight.
And one thing we should point out, we talked about Brookfield East being a little beat up. One of the folks that's not in there on defense right now is Sam Santiago Lloyd, who was Player of the Year last year in the Metro Conference, both offensively and defensively. So no doubt they're missing having Sam man that linebacker position.
Lashinsky will hold for Parker Jensen, the senior kicker. Snap is down, and it is up and good. 7-0. Big 30-yard, couple of 30-yard pass plays involving Jimmy Rogers setting up this drive. They overcome the penalty, and they march it in on the opening possession, a 7-0 Lancer lead.
We watched the practice for Central on Monday, and Jed was spending a lot of time trying to fine-tune the offense. They were rather intense for a Monday practice, really trying to get ready for what they know is a key game with their rival.
Let's head down to the sideline, our first Bernard sideline report, and we introduce Kara tonight. Well, we had a little technical problem with the mic there. We'll try and get that fixed up here in just a minute. We apologize for that. We're glad to have Kara here tonight. I know she was a little bit under the weather last couple of days, so we're happy to have her gutting one out here tonight.
Well, everybody in town is here, so she wanted to be here as well. So
Jensen will tee this one up. Deep return man is Cam. Was supposed to be Cam McDonald. That's Jay Van Ert standing back there. And the run up and the kick, a nice high driving kick, taken just inside the 5, coming back near side across the 20, 25, still on his feet and wrestled down near the 29-yard line. 24-yard return sets them up nicely here, and a nice run by Jay Van Aert, the senior, going to work here on defense as a defensive back here on defense as well as running kicks and punch back. 9 plays, 88 yards in just under 3.5 minutes.
We'll have to see if East is able to respond, and we're also going to have to watch carefully both their quarterback, who was beat up a little bit last week, Jake Groff, and see also how Sam Santiago Lloyd holds up.
Lloyd is in the backfield along with the quarterback Jake Groff. Groff 6'1", 200-pound senior. Santiago Lloyd 5'11", 235, and a senior. So late spotting the ball here, the official. Now we get everything set. 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Send a man in motion far side. We give it to Lloyd. Lloyd trying to struggle forward, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about it. In on the stop, Quinn Anderson, the 5'10 defensive lineman. It's actually Groff, the quarterback, who kept it that time. He said went to practice Monday, and a lot of guys out that were working through their injuries.
Yeah, Groff was not practicing on Monday.
Work from the gun. 2nd down and 9. Ball just across the 30-yard line. Wants to throw. Goes far side. Completes the pass. It covered up immediately on the play. The receiver out there on the far side, that was Cam Bauer. Bauer, 5'10", 155-pound junior. Wrapped up immediately by Luke Blamer. Blamer the corner on that far side.
Yeah, you're going to see Brookfield East does use quite a few different backs in their offensive set. They've rotated a number of guys in, trying to get a group in there to catch passes.
Gain of 3 sets up 3rd and 7 for the Spartans. A work from the gun. Send a man out to the far side. And they'll keep it again, and he'll try and run it up. Santiago Lloyd, his first carry tonight. Not much there across the 35-yard line. May have gotten a couple. Sets up 4th down, so the defense holds here, getting a 3 and out for Central, forcing East to punt.
And you didn't want to turn the ball back to him right away, but we're going to have to see whether Brook Central is going to try to, get on their throats, so to speak, right off the bat.
Again, Heckman and Gibson standing back. Bauer to do the punting. Gets a good snap. The lefty gets this one away. He'll get away from it. It will take a nice East bounce inside the 25-yard line, rolling inside the 20, and will roll dead at the 14-yard line. So a nice punt pushes the Central back inside the 20. 6:18 to go, a 7-0 Central lead. Let's head downstairs and visit with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys. So on the Brook Central sidelines, feeling pretty good about that first drive. Brookfield East wants to figure out how to get a little pressure on Lashinsky when he's throwing. They're happy with the run defense, not happy with the pass defense. Going to make a couple adjustments on this possession.
We'll look for those, as it was the 2 big pass plays to Jimmy Rogers that really moved the football down the field. And the officials stalling here before the snap. I've never seen this before. Maybe they want some FaceTime tonight.
Possibly they're trying to turn it into a series.
2nd time on offense. Fake to Heckman. Lashinsky has time. Going to go for the home run over the middle of the field. And it's looking for Thomas Gibson, and it's broken up, incomplete. Nice job defensively. Jay Van Aert in coverage out there. Stuck with him. They able to break that one up.
Well, Mike talked about the fact that the coaches wanted to do something to stop the pass. The other thing we need to point out early on, the quarterback's not the only one who's going to throw for East.
Yes.
2 or 3 different people, those backs, the wings coming in motion. You're going to see a variety of people possibly throw passes.
He had it in his hands. You look at it, and I credit Van Aert staying with the play. Brought his arms down, the old chop motion, knocked that ball out. It's a reverse to Banda. Banda coming around the far side, able to get some running room. Out across the 15, just short of the 20-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play for Banda.
Depending on the age of the viewers, they're going to look at the Brookfield Central offense. They're going to say, oh, it's a shotgun. This is the old single wing. A couple backs cheated up as blocking backs. I don't know if we'll see the spinner or not. A couple of older people are rolling their eyes right now. But when you talk about the spread, this is the forerunner of it.
And they tackle a man coming out of the backfield. Heckman getting the direct snap. Second time tonight he's taken the direct snap and was brought down immediately by Brad Dottie. We talked about him in the pregame.
Right, he has 28 solo tackles coming into this game, 37 total tackles. He's been having an outstanding year.
And again, when you watch that type of offenses, we'll see the replay here, you have to trust your eyes. You have to follow the football, find the football, and bring the man down. It's basically, don't get mixed up watching all the motion stuff. You just got to follow the football from center to quarterback, or center in this case to halfback. Roddy Latinovich in to do the punting, which is almost 35 yards per kick. A good one here, and gets off a driving kick. And is back to receive it. McDonald breaks a tackle coming around near side. Inside the 30 down the sideline with it. And it's stacked up right near the 20-yard line. It was Justin Parbs able to return that one back. And we'll take our break. 4:39 to go here in this first quarter. 7-0 Brookfield Central. East in good position when we come back. Justin Parbs with the punt return back to the 18-yard line sets up the Spartans 1st and 10 from the Central 18. Well, Tim Allen plays a family man who tries to maintain his masculinity in a house full of women. It's Last Man Standing, weeknights at 6 and 6:30, starting Monday here on My 24. Quarterback will keep it. Groff spins into the second level and gets driven back there.
Well, Jake Groff's good-sized quarterback, 6'1", 200 pounds. Obviously, they're trying to use Sam Santiago-Lloyd as a little bit of a fake to try to give Jake a chance to get free.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Near hash mark, 15-yard line. Two receivers to the left here for Brookfield East. Send the slot man in motion. Parbs give it to Santiago-Lloyd. Met in the backfield and driven down immediately. Once again, Quinn Anderson knifing through there. His defensive line position made first contact, able to bring him down.
Yeah, 250-pound, 15-pound junior. Had 3 tackles for a loss so far this year. They're a very active defense.
Peyton Simon, an extra wide receiver, in now for East on 3rd down and 8 from the 16. He will line up in the slot here to the near side, along with Parbs. Groff from the gun, fakes, tries to run. Now on the scramble, Groff still on his feet, able to break a tackle to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Brookfield East. What a run, 16 yards from Jake Groff, the quarterback. Able to run it in, and they're an extra point away from tying this one up.
Jake Groff was rumbling, stumbling. He was not going to be denied. Had instant pressure from the outside, scrambled, was able to break through 2 tackles, get into the end zone.
Well, this fancy footwork replay brought to you by Northwest Surgery Center. Minimally invasive surgery for bunions, hammer toes, heel spurs, and other foot and ankle concerns.
Yeah, of course.
Nice job by Groff to keep his feet. Bauer for the extra point. And the kick is blocked. No good. Rejected up the middle that time. So it's a 7-6 ball game with 3:09 to go. Once again, we head to the sideline, and we officially visit now with Kara.
Hopefully our technical difficulties subsided as Mike just used the mic. And of course I wouldn't miss an opportunity to be here with you guys, even though I'm under the weather. Happy to have Dr. Rob Balza with Wisconsin Lutheran College. He's the professor of biology there. And you guys have some exciting news to share with us.
Yeah, that's right, Kara. We're really excited to announce a new partnership with the Medical College of Wisconsin, where a student that wants to go in a career of pharmacy can go 3 years at WLC and 3 years at MCW and get both a bachelor's degree in biology or biochemistry, as well as a doctor of pharmacy degree.
Well, that's fantastic news. And where can folks at home get any information on WLC or, of course, this new program?
Well, if a student's interested in learning more about the program, they can stop on by. We'd be happy to show them around, give them a tour. Otherwise, they can check out our website at wlc.edu.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rob, and back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. Rob, we thank you for that new program at Wisconsin Lutheran College.
Well, a very important response by Brook East to that score. They got the stop. Didn't want to have to settle for a field goal, got the touchdown. Fortunately, the extra point got blocked. We'll see if that becomes something extremely important as the game wears on.
The Justin Parbs punt return. Special teams setting things up here.
And Parbs is that multi-purpose athlete whom they employ.
Bowers kick. Heckman drifting back under it, just short of his own goal line. We'll circle back to the right across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Has some room out to the 40-yard line. Zach Heckman with a nice return. 39-yard return out to the 40-yard line, and that will set up Brook Central with good field position.
Well, Zach Heckman is one of those runners who just keeps getting better. He's got, coming into this game, already 91 rushes, so that kind of lets you know he's the critical cog in their offense.
Officially spotted at the 39. 3:02 to go, first quarter, 7-6 ball game. Central, their third possession tonight. Wyszynski gets down low to take that snap. This is actually Heckman. He'll get the direct snap. Heckman with some running room. Dragging tacklers across midfield to the east 48-yard line. Zach Heckman, third time tonight he's taken the direct snap. We saw a little bit of that at practice on Monday as well.
Yeah, call it the Wildcat, whatever you want to call that version of it. But once again, that's also part of the way that they keep the defense off balance. You're not sure to whom the ball's being hiked. Get all the motion. Really makes the defense have to read their keys.
Spartans' last scoring drive, 3 plays, 18 yards. Groff the 16-yard touchdown run. Heckman again takes the snap. Heckman racing inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line before he is driven back there. Caleb Wright, we'll see him tonight in that secondary, doing some things. He goes both ways.
And depending on Sam Santiago Lloyd's availability, we may see Caleb in the backfield on offense as well for Brookfield East.
Gain of 4, second down 6 upcoming. Ball at the 43 of the Spartans. Wyszynski, that little spinner, hands it off. This is Banda coming around the far side. Good job by that lineman again, stringing that one out. Minimal gain there.
Brad Dottie once again in on the tackle. He's trying to shoot the gaps. If you get those wide sweeping plays and got offensive linemen pulling, there are some seams that linebackers can run through. However, one of the things we saw them working on heavily was the counter play this week in Brookfield Central on Monday.
Wyszynski will hand it off. Coming around the near side once again. This is Thomas Gibson on the jet sweep. Gibson close to a first down. It is indeed a first down. Again, another first down sponsored by Wisconsin Lutheran College. You get the numbers on Gibson, 6'2", 185, a senior.
Was an honorable mention all-conference player last year for the Brookfield Central Lancers.
Minute 20 to go, first and 10. All at the 36 now of East. This is Heckman trying to run the right side. Heckman trying to get the corner. Good coverage again as it closed up in a hurry. Cam McDonald was there on the stop as we head down to the sideline, and Mike McGivern.
Boys, offensive coordinator from Brookfield East talking about blocking assignments and not just hitting guys but driving guys and staying on their block. Also talking about going trips and watch for a bubble screen coming soon.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Some tricks up the sleeves of Brook East here tonight.
A little bit of a chess match by the coaches.
Gain of 4, second down 6. Under a minute to go here in our first quarter. Wyszynski rolls right, wants to pass, dumps it out right side, and it's dropped incomplete. Looking for Gibson that time, thrown into heavy traffic. Good coverage by the Spartans that time.
Yeah, Joey Pagel, a sophomore, 6'1", 190, was right there covering.
use that 6'2" leaping ability by Gibson, but thrown a little bit high. He'll get a fingertip on it. Stops the clock, 30 seconds to go here in the quarter. 3rd and 6. I always see this unbalanced line look here. And there goes the fullback. He'll take it up the middle. Is that Cooney? Cooney, I believe.
Jack Cooney.
Jack Cooney, who takes that snap. The fullback, the sophomore. Got to always throw those fullbacks a bone once in a while because they're doing all the heavy work for the running backs.
Now, you don't want to call them a blocking back. They might not come out. So you call them a fullback. And notice there, they shifted 3 of their linemen over from one side of the line to the other side to get that mismatch.
They won't even measure. They'll give them the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Again, direct snap to Heckman. Heckman trying to work his way over the right side, and he's going to be stopped for a minimal gain. A lot of white shirts there to bring him down. That will end our first quarter here in Brookfield tonight. We're at Lancer Field, Brookfield Central High School. Central with the 7-6 lead over Brookfield East. Quarter number 2 coming your way next. Our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Blocked extra point. The difference here as we head into quarter number 2. Answers from Brook Central leading the Spartans of Brook East tonight by a score of 7-6. On a gold out night tonight. Both student sections wearing the gold t-shirts, raising awareness for childhood cancer and raising funds to challenge childhood cancer. Again, a direct snap to Heckman as we begin quarter number 2, trying to work his way around the left side, inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Zach Byram finally there to bring Heckman down, and we're inside the power zone once again, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work.
Well, you're seeing him pull linemen, but the other thing you have to realize, if you're a wide receiver for Brookfield Central, you have to be an excellent blocker because they're downfield trying to drive off. That happens to be Lashinsky you see out there leading the play.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Heckman again trying to curl around the right side. He'll get it short inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. A steady dose of the junior running back, Zach Heckman, tonight.
They're just going to keep pounding and working and grinding out. That's Brookfield Central. And then just when it looks like you might stop them, Jed's going to hit you with one of his trick plays.
2nd and goal from the 2. Again, Heckman spins his way forward, breaks the plane of the goal. Touchdown, Brook Central. Zach Heckman, his 2nd score tonight. The junior running back did it all on that drive. Outside of, I think, 2 plays, he handled the football the entire drive.
Yeah, whether he's having the ball handed to him, whether it's coming to him on a direct snap.
Last one there, Jack Stager, unable to keep him from the end zone. 13-6. On Parker Jensen on now for the extra point.
Jensen was the all-conference first-team selection last year in the Greater Metro. An excellent place kicker.
Lashinsky on the hold, and it is through. 14-6 Brook Central. They answer following the touchdown by Brook East. And they go back up by 8, 14-6 a minute into our second quarter. With Terry Kelly, John Weiser, our entire crew here, Mike McGivern, Kara also with us tonight. Glad to be with you from Brookfield tonight. A very big ball game. Very big ball game tonight. Well, the Salvation Army would like to recognize Michael Mohammed, Mr. Mo, as he is known, and the AP Physics teacher with incredibly technologically advanced and interactive lessons at Brook Central High School. Along with that, he is an advisor, mentor, and most importantly, a friend of the Brookfield Central Red Kettle Club. Mr. Mo spends countless hours assisting the Red Kettle Club and is a perfect example of doing the most good for the Salvation Army and all those at Brookfield Central and around the Brookfield community. There's Mr. Mo. Great job working with that Red Kettle Club, seeing more and more of the high schools getting involved with that each and every year.
Well, that whole idea of focusing on service, just critical for our young people.
Central will kick this one away, and Jensen's kick finds the end zone for the touchback. So we'll see how the Spartans respond here as the Lancers come right back. On a steady dose of Zach Heckman on that last drive. There it is, 11 plays, just under 4 minutes. Heckman, his second touchdown run tonight.
Be interesting to know the total number of carries already for Mr. Heckman.
From the 20, following the touchback, Groff will get them set. Santiago Lloyd to his right in the backfield, working from the gun. Santiago Lloyd, and he picks his way across the 20 out to about the 21-yard line.
You can tell that Sam, because of that ankle, doesn't have that burst. Because for a 230-pounder, he could really turn it upfield and power through people. That would be the best way to describe his running style.
Alex Radis will come in as slot here for Brook East. Second down 9, ball at the 21-yard line. Groff wants to throw it out there. It is bobbled and dropped incomplete. Looking for Justin Parbs, usually the sure-handed receiver out there, went right through his hands. As we head back to the sidelines and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, keep your eye on number 70, Max Aslan. They were checking his knee. He was complaining about his right knee when he came off. Seemed to get a little bit of work on this side. They're keeping an eye on him. We might want to do the same.
All righty, thanks for the update there, Mike. Max Aslan, the 6'3", 290-pound senior, second team all-conference a year ago, working both sides of the line tonight. Well, 3rd and 9 for the Spartans. Groff gonna throw, just got that one away as he took a shot. Parbs with the catch, out across the 30 to the 36-yard line. Gain of 15 and a first down, another Wisconsin Lutheran-sponsored first down.
Yeah, Parbs has rushed the ball this year for 82 yards and a touchdown. He has a touchdown reception. He's played quarterback last week, the second half of the game.
Took a shot, the quarterback Groff did, on the blitz by Jordan Haanen, the outside linebacker, got a good lick on Groff, who stood tall and delivered the football nicely to Parbs for the big gain. I'll mark it out at the 38-yard line. Here's Santiago Lloyd going up the middle, lowers the shoulder across the 45, out to the 46-yard line. Santiago Lloyd with his first strong run tonight.
I think, that's the style people are accustomed to seeing from Sam. I know last year, as a junior, named first team All-State as well.
Just lowers that shoulder and went right through Jaden Banda, the strong safety. Gain of 9, second down 1 from the 47. Parbs goes in motion. And you get the pitch. Parbs coming around the right side. Parbs gets the first down across midfield on the option run that time between Groff and Parbs.
I'm sure what Brookfield East is trying to do is get him to respect Sam going up the middle, so that'll open the outside for him. We just have to see if Sam's able to continue throughout the whole game. A little tender on the ankle.
Once again, tracking him down, Jaden Banda from the strong safety position. 1st and 10, all at the 48-yard line of the Lancers. And again, this is Santiago Lloyd trying to come around right side. Nice tackle. As he tried to turn the corner that time, was met once again. That was Banda again that came through there, able to make the play once again.
Banda having an excellent game both on offense as well as defense. Comes right in there.
He's not afraid. He took him on in the hole the last time, and Santiago Lloyd won that battle. This time it was Banda returning the favor.
Honorable mention selection last year as a defensive back.
8:10 to go here in our first half. 14-6, Brookfield Central on top, but East now into Lancer territory. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Again, they'll pitch it. And again, this time it is taking the pitch is Gavin Post. Post, whole host of running backs here that will see some action tonight at any given time. He's a junior, 5'8", 145. Has averaging almost 6 yards per carry when he does get it.
and scored 6 touchdowns so far this year. That's something we should point out. Is both Brook Central and Brook East have racked up some impressive offensive totals in their first 4 games.
Critical third down here. 3rd and 5 from the Lancer 43-yard line. Again, Parbs in motion to the right. Groff rolling right, wants to throw it off, dumps it out short, complete to Parbs, breaks a tackle. Parbs down the far sideline and gets inside the 25-yard line. Nice run by Parbs, gain of 18, and another Wisconsin Lutheran College sponsored first down.
Parbs has been critical to the offense tonight for Brookfield East. Running the ball, catching the ball.
Thomas Gibson, we saw an offense working the corner there with the shoulder into Parbs, taking him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Brookfield East. Groff will keep it this time on the swipe play. Groff pulling forward inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. Gain of about 8 on the play for Jake Groff, the senior quarterback.
Brook Central starting to try to shoot their linebackers a little bit, put a little more pressure. One of the things we've noticed, they have Reggie Jennings, their outside linebacker, has been playing a lot more inside tonight. 6'1", 212-pound junior, first team all-conference last year, a sophomore.
Cam Bauer will check in as a split end here. Line Cartier, the 6'6" receiver, in a slot here to the near side. Groff with time, comes back near side, lobs it in, nicely cut by Cartier. Touchdown, Brookfield East. I noticed that right away, Terry. He lined up in a slot. That's going to be a tough coverage with the 6'6" Cartier lined up in the slot.
His brother was an excellent offensive and defensive lineman last year for Brook East. Apparently he ate all the food, and Patrick was able to get a little bit more speed. Ooh, that'd be one they might want to replay if they had the replay official on that one. He might have gone out of bounds, but excellent throw.
They'll go for 2, having their first extra point attempt blocked, so they will try for 2 here. And nothing doing. Central ready that time. Looked like Nick Lashinsky, brother, able to come in and make the plays. Brother of Drew.
Right, Lashinsky, good football lineage. Fathers and uncles all played at either Mesmer or Dominican. Names well known.
Well, they did not score the touchdown.
They did rule it out. I called that one.
You did. You caught it, Coach.
Not totally blind
yet. They were going
yet.
for 2, but not exactly. As Groff now on 2nd down and goal, spins his way inside the 5, and he'll be stopped short at the 3. Super forward progress they marked this year inside the 2. Good job that time once again just to get an arm on him. Reggie Jennings.
Like we said, playing more on that inside linebacker.
So 3rd and goal from the 2.
You see Caleb Wright brought into the backfield now.
They'll go 3 by 1 here. 3 receivers to the right side. They'll run it to the short side. And Groff spinning, and let's see, he's going to be short. Didn't quite break the plane of the goal. He got it down to about the 1-yard line is where they will mark it. We'll take one more look. Right there. Blake Fairman, defensive lineman there to keep him out of the end zone along with Nick Lashinsky.
Yeah, Coach Kennedy was quite excited talking about Blake Fairman. He's got a history in hockey and came over to football this year. A 6'5", 220-pound junior who moves very well. Stayed at home with that and quarterback.
So 4th and goal now from the 1. They did rule him out of bounds on that beautifully thrown ball. They'll try and pound it in, and it's Groff. He'll take it in for the score.
Excellent fake. They really faked that ball well, Caleb Wright. And
Jake Groff able to punch it in. That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Carried through that fake nicely to Caleb Wright.
I'm sure they've got Caleb in there because Sam just can't quite get that forward momentum going on that ankle.
They will go with the point after here. Cam Bauer. They had one blocked on their first touchdown. This one's blocked again up the middle. Just a low trajectory once again by Bauer on the kick. Tough to tell who got a hand on it, but we'll take a break. 4:23 to go here, first half. 14-12. Brookfield East on top of Brookfield Central. Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. A couple of blocked extra points. That's where we're at. 14-12. Lancers on top of Brookfield East. For all the info on the green and gold, including special guests, players, and more, watch Locker Room Tuesday night at 6:30 on My Place for Sports, My 24. Nick Lashinsky got a hand on that last one on the extra point attempt by Bauer.
Right. The kick was a little low. Nick's only 6 feet tall, so it's not like he's skying up there, but got his hand. Another critical mistake on the kicking game.
Heckman and Gibson standing deep for Bauer's kick. Drive this one. And again, this is Gibson. His first return. Gibson with a nice run up the far side. Breaking tackles out across midfield. This is Gibson down the far sideline. He will take it all the way. Touchdown, Brooks Central. Thomas Gibson with the touchdown return on the kickoff. "95 yards just going down the far sideline."
Was a return left. Couple of missed tackles, and Gibson is on his way.
Did a nice job working the sideline to stay in bounds as well. 95-yard touchdown return by Thomas Gibson, a captain on this team as well.
Special teams kind of letting Brook East down right now, and nothing can deflate you more than to get that touchdown, and all of a sudden you give up the kickoff return.
And Parker Jensen missed that one wide left. Wow. Remains an 8-point game, so Brookfield East still within striking distance here with 4:09 to play. A 95-yard kickoff return by Thomas Gibson, the senior. A nice run down the far sideline as we head down to the sidelines. And Kara.
Thanks again, guys. I've got a couple of Brookfield Central girls here, but they're also co-presidents with the Red Kettle Club of Salvation Army. I've got Samantha and Kajal here. Can you tell us a little bit about the Red Kettle Club?
Red Kettle Club is a service club through the Salvation Army, and we do different activities at each of our monthly meetings, so we do the most good in our community all the time. Some of our events include caroling and bell ringing and making mini caramel apples for the emergency lodge.
And can you tell us a little bit about the snack bags?
Sure. So at our next meeting, we will be making snack bags. The Salvation Army Emergency Lodge is at a record number for kids at the homeless shelter. So every night they kind of get a bag of food to pull them through from dinner to the rest of the night. So we give them a wet snack like applesauce, dry snack like granola bars, and then we just write them a note saying like have a good night or something like that. So yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and of course for doing such great things in the community, and of course to him for joining us as well. And go Brookfield Central, right?
Yes.
Back to you guys.
Parker Jensen with the kick and the touchback, and once again Brookfield East will start this drive on their 20-yard line.
Well, East has to make sure that they respond in some way. At the very minimum, they have to make sure they keep the ball as long as they can, not let Central have an opportunity to get another score before the half.
So still a one-touchdown ball game with that 2-point conversion. So an important drive here. Well, all season Mike and Kara will have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, letting you know about the great things going on in the schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports being brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Groff at quarterback. He wants to throw. He'll dump it out to the running back here on the near side. That is Gavin Post. And Post, nice little run out near the 25-yard line. Ushered out of bounds that time by Jordan Hainan.
I'm not sure whether we're going to see Sam Santiago Lloyd in this half anymore. We'll have to see if we can spot him on the sidelines. He's not on the bench or anything, but I think they're trying to be cautious with that ankle.
Now, while this is a big ball game, you know, you've got potential playoffs involved here down the road here. You've already got 4 wins, 2 in conference, so you've got a good chance of finishing it up. As posted another nice run. Out across the 35, out to the 36-yard line, a gain of 11, and another Wisconsin Lutheran-sponsored first down.
Excellent pulls by the 2 backside linemen to pull through the hole, help set it up for Gavin Post to come through.
A little bit of a different look. Everybody expected the big back Santiago Lloyd, but nice job there, nice hole there. The pulling guard able to clear out some space.
That was Max Aslan leading the way, and if you get a 290-pounder coming at you, you can create quite a hole.
From the 36, 1st and 10, Brookfield East. A movement, and let's see. Saw the back post flinch a little bit. The defensive line jumped. Were they drawn off? Sort this one out.
Prior to the snap, false start on the halfback for the offense.
False start
5-yard penalty
here. I think
remains first down.
Wobbled a little bit out of his 3-point stance. Once again, down to the sideline of Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, so first half's not been great for the special teams at Brookfield East. And they're talking about on this side making a couple changes, personnel changes, to make sure they shore that up. You may see that here in the first half.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for being on top of that. And yeah, that last couple of kickoffs, they've allowed that, and Gibson finally broke one for 95. 1st and 15 following the penalty. They'll fake the handoff. Groff will keep it, trying to go around the right side. He'll get it across the 30 out to about the 33-yard line, maybe a gain of 2 on the play for Jake Groff, the quarterback.
Yeah, Nick Lashinsky was also involved in that tackle. He stayed at home, so the little fake by the back and the quarterback keeping it, he was right there waiting for him.
Officially a gain of 2, 2nd and 13 from the 33. We're late here in the second quarter, 2:45 to go in the half. Brookfield Central on top by 8 thanks to the 95-yard kickoff return by Thomas Gibson. Post again will work the backfield. 4 receivers, 2 by. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Send the man in motion far side, Zach King. Groff will roll, now under pressure, and down he goes. Was trying to get out of the grasp that time. Blake Fearman, we talked about him, the hockey player turned football player.
Right, at 6'5", 220 is more than big enough to be a force out there on defense for Central.
That's his 4th tackle for a loss this season.
A little confusion on the left side of Brookfield East offensive line. They didn't pick up either of the 2 guys rushing.
This week on Faith in the Zone, former head coach at Colorado and founder of Promise Keepers, Bill McCartney, will join Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltner to discuss his faith and how it has affected his life professionally and personally. Faith in the Zone. That's Sundays at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Well, defensive coordinators Paul Mayer and Robert Hellendrung, better known to most people in southeastern Wisconsin as Hubba, started to dial up a few more blitzes, trying to put the pressure on East.
There's the first-year football coach, Ben Farley. He's a basketball coach at Menominee Falls for a while.
And he was the head coach, and this year he'll be assisting at Brookfield East. I know he was apologetic of not getting us some of the material early on.
And there's Jed Kennedy.
Always happy, Jed Kennedy, as he's working the sideline. But he's a guy that demands perfection from his team. That's how he coaches it. They have an excellent off-season program he's in charge of with all the athletes at Brookfield Central involved.
3rd and 23. Need to get across the 46-yard line for the first down. And once again, Groff going down. Back-to-back sacks. As getting in there that time was Reggie Jennings. Jennings, the junior, who's already been offered to the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah, first team all-conference last year as a sophomore. He's also a captain. We may even see him on offense. He comes in as part of the heavy package. he's a guy that 6'1", 212, moves very well.
So back-to-back sacks will push the ball back to the 15-yard line. Not the way you wanted to close out this half, as Central now will take their second timeout, saving some time here for their offense.
If you know anything about Jed Kennedy, when they get the ball back, this is where you might see one of those halfback passes. One time he told me he had 12 different trick plays, except he doesn't like to call them trick plays. So it'll be interesting to see what he tries to do here.
So 4th down, East will punt from the shadow of their own goalpost. Bauer, a left-footed booter, will kick this one away. And Central down to 2 timeouts remaining. Or I should say use 2 timeouts. They have 1 remaining. As Bauer gets this one away. High and short kick, and fair caught in traffic that time by Jaden Banda. Spotted at the 42-yard line. Just a 27-yard punt, but no return on the fair catch. So with 1 timeout remaining, 2:07 to play in the half, Brook Central going to get their hands on the football.
Well, we'll see exactly how Coach Kennedy wants to handle this, whether we'll see a running play to kind of get that feel for it, and then will they work play action pass off that the next down. All depends what he feels like is going to give him a chance for success.
Drew Lashinsky, the sophomore quarterback, will get them set. They'll run the double reverse. There's that halfback option. There's the man wide open inside the 5. Touchdown, Brookfield Central, Jaden Banda. Coach, you're a genius.
No, if you just go and watch what Jed Kennedy likes to do, and he, a lot of success when he was at Kenosha Bradford, winning a state title while he was there. And as we said, these plays are not trick plays because they're all predicated. They look like they're runs.
Heckman to Rogers, to Banda, to the end zone. I think that's exactly how Jed had that one drawn up. Everybody got caught looking into the backfield, and all of a sudden Banda, good 5-8 yards of separation, and that's all she wrote. This time the kick again, wide left. No extra points here tonight. We're having trouble with the point after. So it's a 26-12 ball game. First play after the punt, the 42-yard touchdown pass from Jimmy Rogers to Jaden Banda.
Well, Banda is a defensive back, loves that chance of getting his chance on offense.
Here's the coaches poll for Division II coming into this weekend. You see Brook Central and Brookfield East both at 3 and 5. Homestead in there. And of course, Waunakee, they're always at the top of that Division II poll.
And Waukesha North, which is standing 4-0 in the Classic 8. Greendale's also undefeated. Whitefish Bay, another fantastic team in the North Shore. We knew when we saw Homestead early in the year, they'd be around at the end.
Bay's only loss in overtime to Brookfield Central in Week 1.
First game, there was a real shootout. A couple of happy fans. Well, maybe not that happy.
Well, you have to be with Jed now. Onside kick, maybe?
With a 1:59, they only have 1 timeout to play with.
I'm going to kick this one away. And again, it will bounce its way into the end zone for the automatic touchback, and for the 3rd time tonight, the Spartans will start at their own 20-yard line. They've got 1:59. They have 3 timeouts.
Depending on the plays that Brook East runs and the way that Central could use their timeout, East may have to wind up kicking the ball to them yet. I'm sure the Central coaches would like a shot for yet another score before the half.
And again, it will be Gavin Post in at a running back. The second straight drive now that we have not seen Sam Santiago-Lloyd. Again, he's been working through an ankle injury, and perhaps it's just his time now to take some rest here.
Yeah, I think they want to be judicious. As we mentioned earlier, they still have playoffs looming. So.
Groff from the gun. will run the option. Nowhere to go, and he's down again. Reggie Jennings was in there, got a piece of him first, and then got help from his teammates to finish him off. 4th tackle tonight for the junior Jennings.
They didn't choose Central to call their timeout right there. You see that slanting defensive line, and Jennings shot the gap underneath on the backside.
Minute and a half to go here in the second quarter. They'll send 3 receivers here to the near side. Single back is post. Groff from the gun. Wants to throw. Sets up the screen, and it's bobbled, dropped, incomplete, nearly picked off by Lashinsky that time. Nick Lashinsky in there on top of post almost immediately to break that one up.
We talked in the pregame about using quick screens and short passes to try to negate the aggressiveness of Brook Central. The only trouble right now is that stopped the clock. Brook Central still has a timeout in their pocket.
If they don't get this first down here, you know they're going to use it here on defense to get the ball back. Rob just kind of lofted that one out, never really got much on that pass. That was also part of the equation there.
Well, they've been putting pressure on him with their pass rush.
3rd and 15. A movement up front, and the whistle blows. Flag on the play.
They were going to slant that defensive line
to on the defense.
The field.
Number 15. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Probably more than likely going to scrape a linebacker off one of those slanting defensive linemen and keep that pressure on the backfield.
So encroachment on the defense makes it a move it up back to the 20-yard line. Make it a 3rd and 10 now with 1:07 to go. Jennings showing blitz. We'll hand it off, and it's Jennings who was in there immediately, came in clean. He again just shot the gap. And now timeout taken by Brook Central here. It's going to stop play. They use their final timeout.
One of the things Central has also done is they've taken their outstanding offensive tackle, Sam Ockwood, guy getting a lot of interest, brought him on the defensive line, shore that up. And, we said at the start of the game, their depth could really be a factor in this game.
So Lancers use their final timeout, 63 seconds to play here in the first half. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll highlight this week's Scholar athletes. Also, Kara will have a chance to talk to a few of our sponsors. That's coming up during our halftime report here on My 24. Interesting half. I mean, both teams having trouble converting on the extra point. Would have been a closer ball game. We had the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Ben Farley, his first venture into this Brook Central-Brook East rivalry.
Well, the kickoff return for Central was a critical play. East had been kind of, matching what Central had been doing, and all of a sudden that really took the air out of them.
Bauer will punt this one away. Heckman and Gibson standing near midfield. High snap. Bauer brings it down, drives this an end-over-end kick. That will bounce, and Central will let it roll. It takes a nice east roll inside the 30-yard line. Nice punt there, getting most of that on the roll. 52-yard punt. Out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Nearly touched return man. Yeah, Banda instead of Gibson back there. So let's see what Jed Kennedy has up his sleeves here. Leading 26-12, you're out of timeouts, 54 seconds to go in the half. From his own 31-yard line, Drew Lashinsky, play action. Has some time. Still on his feet, will cut it upfield. Tries to find the sideline, and he'll get out of bounds at the 34. Wise decision by the sophomore Drew Lashinsky. Pulled it back down, couldn't quite find his man, and was smart enough to get out of bounds.
Yeah, coming into tonight's game, Drew is 32 for 44, so a nice percentage for a sophomore, and is throwing for 6 touchdowns.
Stops the clock, 45 seconds to play. Officially a gain of 2, so 2nd down and 8 upcoming here for the Lancers. Heckman will take the direct snap. Lashinsky trying to set a block. Nothing there as he's pulled down and dragged out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe gotten back to the line for no gain. So they'll set up 3rd and long. Now again with 39 seconds left, getting out of bounds here, but you're facing 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 here for the Spartans, and you're out of timeouts.
The trick play is not quite as effective here simply because Brook East is looking for something long, and the defensive linebacker is going to play in a little looser.
Banda will split out to the far side. Shinsky down low, play fake again, wants to throw and completes the pass here to the near side. Thomas Gibson with the catch. 1st down made, out short of midfield. Clock will stop while they reset the chains on another 1st down brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College.
Now it looked like the back was circling from the backfield for what they call the hook and lateral. The guy catches that ball as the defenders converge on him, he pitches it back.
Now they'll just clock the ball. Now we got a penalty marker down. Somebody come out of the ball a little early before the quarterback clocked it there. Let's see. Officials huddling up here. I'll make sure they get that right. While they do, I want to thank the fine folks at Chick-fil-A this evening. They brought some fine sandwiches here for the crew. Try the new egg white grill from Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Freshly grilled chicken and egg whites with American cheese served on a toasted English muffin. All for only 300 calories and only at Chick-fil-A.
By the center for
Brookfield
Brookfield Central.
Breakfast.
Be repeat.
Not as crazy as you
1st
think.
down.
Only available during breakfast hours. That's Chick-fil-A at 124th and Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Thank you so much. So offside here against the offense. They'll roll the clock as well. Lashinsky again play fake. Now steps up on the run, breaks a tackle, now circles back, has some blockers in front. He wants to get out of bounds. He'll slide out of bounds and save some time here. Heads up play there by the sophomore, Drew Lashinsky. Take one more look here. One of our fancy footwork replays brought to you by Northwest Surgery Center. Minimally invasive surgery for bunions, hammer toes, and heel spurs, and other foot and ankle concerns.
Caleb Wright broke through there early, put a little pressure on him in the backfield. Yeah. Forced out by Cam McDonald, been involved in 6 tackles already this evening.
Again, Lashinsky on the play fake. Going to step up, going for the home run. Downfield, wants his receiver to run up and underneath it. And did he make the catch or not? Yes, he did. What a nice catch once again by Thomas Gibson. Going up over Bauer to pull that one in. They have to get to the line of scrimmage here because once they set the sticks, the clock will start rolling. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 5 here as soon as they get the chains reset here and get the down markers set. Now they'll wind it down. Lashinsky going to clock it right here with 3 seconds left. So the big play, again, Thomas Gibson.
Well, they're bringing in what looks like their field goal team, but with Jed, you're never really sure.
Also inside the power zone once again. Teams get inside the 20-yard line. They're in the power zone, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. Looks like this will be a 20-yard attempt from the left hash. Ball is down. Jensen's kick is up, and Jensen's kick is good. So a field goal at the end of the half makes it a 29-12 Lancer lead over the Spartans of Brookfield East.
Makes it a 3-score game, so that's a critical conversion by Brook Central at the end of the half.
So the 40-yard pass play to Thomas Gibson sets up the 20-yard field goal, and that's where we head into our halftime. Brookfield Central 29, Brookfield East 12. Our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report here on Badger Max Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. An exciting first half. Brook Central leading Brookfield East 29-12, getting a 20-yard field goal as time expired here in our second quarter. Well, tonight we'd like to highlight two special student athletes, as My 24 is proud to present our Scholar Athletes of the Week nominees. And from Brookfield East High School, this week's Scholar Athlete is Nick Watry. Nick competes in boys volleyball, carries a 4.1 GPA, scored a 34 on his ACT, and has been in honor roll for 4 years and is a member of the National Honor Society and Student Council. He's a 4-year varsity starter, was chosen captain of the 2016 team. Nick is a 2-time all-conference selection and earned a high honorable mention All-State. Nick was a leader during the freshman orientation and also a preschool volunteer. Nick exemplifies academic and human excellence at Brookfield East, according to Athletic Director Ben Westfall. And from Brookfield Central High School, our Scholar Athlete of the Week is Marissa Zepecki. Marissa competes in volleyball and track, carries a 3.9 GPA. She is on the honor roll as well as a member of the National Honor Society. Marissa has been a 4-year starter, a 2-time all-conference selection, and was selected captain in volleyball. She's been a 3-time qualifier for state in track. She is a member of Blue Crew Leadership Team, yearbook editor, and varsity football manager. And according to Scott Spees, her volleyball coach, Marissa is a kid that gets it. She works extremely hard, is respectful, and puts others before herself, a true team player. And that's why Marissa couldn't join us here tonight, because she has a volleyball match to attend. So each week we'll be highlighting scholar athletes who achieve great things on the field, in the classroom, and in their communities. Congratulations from My 24. Let's head down to our sideline report with Kara and with Kevin Mazza.
Thank you very much. Of course, I've got Kevin down here with me. We haven't seen him much this season, so we're super happy to have you with us. You guys are carrying a trophy around with you week to week and giving a trophy to the winning team each week. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the trophy's been special. We've talked about it for the last 2 years on TNL. It's a little bit lighter than last year. We had this big, humongous 70-pound trophy. We just did a smaller replica this year, so it's easier to handle. Just something different than normal trophies for the schools to have.
And speaking of the schools, Badger Max has done a ton of work in the community and a lot of hard work to try to get front and center and build relationships with these schools. Can you tell us about that?
Well, this game is important to me, myself, because I'm part of the community here. I have some kids in the schools. I know some kids I've coached on both teams. But more importantly, this game is special because both schools are doing something special tonight with childhood cancer. That's why they're doing the gold out. So that makes this community so much more important than some of the other ones that we go to, but it's special to us, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you a part of Thursday Night Lights. And you guys, he does have a point. He walks onto the field and everybody knows him. So you guys have definitely done a great job building those relationships.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And back to you.
Terry Kelly, my partner, has that same trouble, too. Everywhere we go, everybody knows him, too.
I hope it's for a good reason. I'm not sure always.
29-12, Brookfield Central on top of Brookfield East. More of our halftime report coming your way next on My 24. It's the halftime report here on Badger Max Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. 29-12, Brookfield Central leading Brookfield East here at the half on Gold Out night tonight, raising money to fight childhood cancer. Let's head down to the sideline and Kara.
I've got Sergeant Nicholas Hodgkinson with the U.S. Marine Corps down here with me. Now, why did you join the Marine Corps?
I ended up joining the Marine Corps because I wanted to be a part of something greater than myself. I wanted to be a part of a brotherhood. On top of that, I grew up knowing that I wanted to become a leader. I wanted to be able to lead someone in a true, better direction to live a better life. And last, I wanted to be able to have a better option for education. I grew up with a family that, God bless them, I knew that when graduation hit, I had to make my own way from there. So those are the big reasons why I truly decided the Marines was best.
And obviously you've achieved some of those goals here. And what are some of the jobs within the Marine Corps?
Actually, a lot of people don't know that the Marine Corps actually has over 350 different type of jobs. Anywhere from infantry all the way to people who works on radios. Like for instance, myself, I'm actually a radio technician for the Marines. I actually had to go through 10 months worth of schooling just to be able to, I guess, do my own job. So that and everywhere in between. there's a lot of opportunities as far as jobs within the Marines.
Well, I'm sure that beats a lot of misconceptions about the Marines, that you're instantly just gone overseas and that you're put on the battlefield. And if anybody's interested in joining the Marines, where can they go for more information?
First, Marines.mil, that's another one. That's great. First, you can also contact me at 414-217-2282. Also, definitely visit Marines North Milwaukee. Definitely visit that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the field tonight, and of course, all that you do for our country.
Thank you very much.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you. Sergeant Nicholas Hodgkinson also delivered our game ball tonight to the game officials. We thank him for that and for his service to his country. 29-12, Brookfield Central on top of Brookfield East. Back with more right after this on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report. Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. 29-12, Brookfield Central leading Brookfield East in a key Greater Metro Conference showdown tonight. So far it's been all answers here, up 3 scores. As we head back down to our sideline report, and once again, here's Kara.
Thank you so much. I've got Sergeant Raymond Flores with the United States Army down here with me. Can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of joining the Army?
Right. Well, the benefits of joining the Army, of course, from the very get-go, we teach leadership as one of the mainstays of the Army. Of course, you get your college paid for it, but also promotion is based on the individual.
And not only are you our recruiter for Brookfield Central and Brookfield East, but what else do you do in the Army?
So I'm a recruiter, but I'm also a mechanic in the Army. That's my actual Army job.
And as we just spoke with our Marine about, there's a lot of opportunities within the Army and both the Marines in many fields. And can you tell us a little bit about, I'm sorry.
The reserves?
Yeah, about the Army Reserves. Thank you so much.
It's okay. She gets a little nervous. I'm going to take care of you. All right. So with the reserves, you get to pretty much stay home, eat Culver's, do whatever it is you do, eat your cheese curds, drink your Spreckers. But for 1 week in a month, you do the Army job that you picked. And after that, life goes on as it usually does.
Well, thank you so much for that recovery there. And what are the qualifications for something like that?
It's 17 to 34. As far as age goes, you got to be in sound physical health. You can't have any serious trouble with the law. And everything else we can kind of just work out with an interview.
And if anybody's got questions or are interested in joining the Army, where can they go?
My phone number is 262-527-5520. We also have an Army app. It's Career Navigator in the App Store or the Play Store.
Well, thank you so much again for that recovery and for joining us for Thursday Night Lights and, of course, all that you do for our country.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you. Sergeant Raymond Flores, we thank you as well. 29-12, Brookfield Central on top of Brookfield East as you took a look at some of the first half highlights here. Lancers got on top early.
Oh, heavy dose of Zach Heckman.
Heckman going over his first touchdown run of the ball game, but Brookfield East came right back. They answered that touchdown drive with one of their own, Jake Groff.
Yeah, scrambled, put his head down, and drove right through a tackler right into the end zone.
The missed extra point made it 7-6, and then Heckman went right back to work, his second touchdown run of the ball game.
Right there, Zach's got 13 rushes for 71 yards so far in that first half.
After a nice catch out there by Patrick Cartier, that set him up first and goal inside the 5. It was Groff going in for his second touchdown run, but on the ensuing kickoff, it was Thomas Gibson.
This really took the wind out of East Sales, and he sprinted right up the sidelines. No one was going to catch it.
That 95-yard touchdown run made it 26-10, and then late here in this first quarter, we got, or first half I should say, the old double reverse, the Rogers pass downfield to Banda for the touchdown.
Right, and we know that those are part of the Central offense, critical portion of theirs.
So that made it 26-12. They added a field goal late as time expired in the second quarter, a 20-yard field goal that put us at the 29-12 mark. Our halftime highlights brought to you by the U.S. Army. Army strong under the full moon here in Brookfield. Let's head back downstairs to Kara.
Thank you so so much, and you're right, we did have an exceptional night tonight for some football. I've got Brett Gritzmacher, principal for Brookfield Central, down here with me. Now, can you share with us a little bit about what's going on here with everybody in gold and the Gold in September and the support behind that?
Well, this is our 4th year doing the Gold Out, and it's been a great community effort between Brookfield Central and Brookfield East. And this really stems from, we have a staff member at BC, Dana Bowe, and she lost her infant son about 6 years ago. And she started the Paxton Foundation, and gold is the color for childhood awareness against cancer. And this is our 4th year that we've done the Gold Out, and it's really been a great effort between both schools to bring awareness, and it's great to see the gold in that crowd and the gold over there. I'm just very proud of this community. The kids here really understand that there's a bigger thing going on here. And proud of the 2 girls, Maggie and Brittany, for their speeches before the game and up in the press box. Very proud of those kids.
Well, and certainly somebody at home and people in this community always have a significant story or personal story behind cancer or childhood cancer. So we certainly appreciate being a part of this tonight. How does it make you feel to have Thursday Night Lights and My 24 showcasing not only this game, but the Gold in September?
It's really an honor. It's great. You know, this is probably the only game going on in the state. And, you know, you got a perfect football weather. You got 2 great schools, great football game, and great crowds. So it's everything that you want in a high school experience.
Well, and obviously Brookfield Central's pulling their own tonight, so how do you think the game is going?
Well, we're doing well, but we got another half. So, you know, Brookfield East, they're a good team. They're a good team. So until the gun goes, I won't rest easy.
Well, thank you so much for inviting My 24 and Thursday Night Lights to be a part of the game tonight and letting us on your turf and joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you. 29-12, Lancers on top of the Spartans. Here's some of the sounds of our ball game tonight.
Scream, 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 scream. Yeah, Cam! Good point, Cam! Good point!
Second half action coming your way next on My 24. (29-12), Brookfield Central on top of Brookfield East here at Lancer Stadium, Brookfield Central High School. As we get set for the start of our second half. First, though, let's run down some of the numbers from that first half, and you can see slightly tilted to the Lancer side.
Well, the passing attack for Brook Central has been excellent, throwing 4 of 6 for 128 yards. That's by Lashinsky.
And you take a look at the rushing yardage as well, over 100 yards rushing, a balanced attack here for the Lancers. Meanwhile, for the Spartans, a little slow go here offensively, and really will we see Santiago Lloyd here in the second half.
Right, I mean, you don't want to play him tonight and lose him for the rest of the season with that ankle. Ankles are very, very tricky in terms of healing.
Santiago Lloyd, 3 carries for 10 yards tonight. Groth, 8 for -15. Those 3 sacks really took away some of his yardage tonight.
Yeah, Brook Central started shooting linebackers and putting quite a bit of pressure on them.
So that's how we've got it stacked up here to start this second half. And before we do so, prior to our ball game tonight, Kara had a chance to talk to the fine folks at Goodwill.
Thank you so much. I've got Pat Bolter with Goodwill here with me. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the job opportunities with Goodwill?
Well, you know, when most people think about Goodwill, they think about the stores and donation centers and the fact that they can shop or donate at Goodwill. But they may not think about the fact that we offer employment. especially if you're in high school or college. We have an array of open positions, cashiers, donation attendants, team associates, that you can work for a Goodwill store, and you can work in the summer, you can work part-time throughout the school year. We offer very competitive benefits. It's a wonderful work environment, flexible scheduling, so consider Goodwill as an employer. And if you go to amazinggoodwill.com and you click on our careers tab, all the information, open positions are there, and there's probably open positions in your community.
Well, thank you so much for what you offer for the community and, of course, for supporting Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you very much. Third quarter about to begin here. We didn't see very much of the quick screens and short passes. Is that going to be part of the offense here, I think, for Brookfield East in the second half?
Well, because they've lost Sam Santiago-Lloyd, the running attack is really bogged down. So in terms of passing, I don't know if they want to try to drop back with the pressure. So it has to maybe be quick pop passes, has to be quick screens, either out to a two-receiver side, do something to try to offset the loss of their run game.
Next 4 up for Brookfield East next week at home against Tosa East, and it's on to Menominee Falls over at Hart Park against Marquette. So, and then Sussex Hamilton to close out the year.
Right, and once again, depending on the injuries, East season is kind of hanging in the balance a little bit here.
And that one will be taken out of bounds. That was touched out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Big mistake there. It looks like it was Justin Parbs. Picked that one off the bounce and then stepped out at the 3-yard line with it. So Brookfield East going to be hemmed in here to start this third quarter.
Right, the 2 late scores at the end of the first half certainly hurt the Spartans, and now a little bit of an error fielding that kickoff.
Again, a reminder, Badger Max Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's game. So from their own 3-yard line, Jake Groff and company will try and get something going here. And they will hand it off. Caleb Wright in now at running back. Gets his first snap tonight. The 6'4", 230-pound junior on the carry that time for just a couple.
And notice once again that Brook Central's brought Sam Ackwood in on that defensive line. Coach Kennedy is not going to hang back.
So 2nd and 5 we'll call it here for the Spartans. Drag a man in motion, Parbs to the far side. Again, they'll give it to Caleb Wright. And again, not much there for Caleb Wright. And again, you called it there, Coach. Ackwood again in on the stop, getting some help that time by Luke Blamer.
Yeah, Luke's a 6'1", 165-pound junior. Has got 18 tackles, including 2 for losses on the year out of his cornerback position.
You see Ackwood right there, right at the point of attack. No gain on the play, sets up 3rd and 5 from their own 6-yard line. Groff again will work from the gun. Wants to pass. Jennings got him in the end zone for the safety. Reggie Jennings coming in clean on the blitz once again.
I think they're going to call him tackled on the 1.
They're not going to give him the safety, but that's his 2nd sack. We'll take one more look. Forward progress, perhaps. Let's see. Yeah. That should have been a safety. That should have been a safety. He was in the end zone. Watch again where his front foot is. He never got it out of the end zone. That should have been a safety and 2 points for Brook Central. Bauer with his heels on the back line has to quick kick this one out, and it's going to be a short punt taken up on the run. Coming around the near side, this is Baden. Baden still on his feet inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. So Banda able to return it inside the 10-yard line. Again, Bauer not much room to work with on the kick. And once again, our fancy footwork replay. Brought to you by Northwest Surgery Center. Minimally invasive surgery for bunions, hammer toes, heel spurs, and other foot and ankle concerns. We've got an ankle concern here. It looks like a cramp here for Baden.
Right, and we've seen Baden playing on both sides of the ball, doing all kinds of special teams plays as well. So certainly understand the fact that get a little dehydrated, and you don't get hydrated the night of the game. You've got to start doing it 48 hours in advance. And these young men are putting out a tremendous amount of effort.
And you can see right there after the tackle, he knew right away he was in discomfort. If you've ever had those calf cramps, let me tell you.
Feels like someone's taking knives and just sticking them in the calf.
Back up under his own power is Baden, walking to the far sideline as we reach the power zone once again here for Brookfield Central. Thanks to the great folks at Goodwill this season, when a team drives inside their opponent's 20-yard line, they have entered the power zone, brought to you by Goodwill and the power of work. They will mark it at the 13-yard line. First possession for the Lancers here in this second half. And it's Heckman getting the direct snap. He's got 2 touchdowns already, going to be denied there. Jumping in, getting a hand on him immediately, Brad Dottie, the junior linebacker.
That's his 5th tackle for the night, and we featured him at the pregame show just in terms of really being a key to their defense.
Did a nice job fighting off the Aquwood block to get there and make the stop. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Again Heckman, again running the sweep to the left side, and again going to be chased down by Dottie. Back-to-back plays by Dottie. Ditto for Dottie there.
Can't keep up with it. You see that Brookfield Central's got that unbalanced line to the left, and they're just trying to outflank East. And East pursuit is saving them from getting into the end zone.
Mike, what do you have for us?
Hey, boys, offensive coordinator at Brookfield Lee said, fellas, what did we talk about? We need 1 first down. We go first down, guys, then we start rolling, but we've got to get 1 first down. We'll go empty after that. But, guys, get me 1 first down, and let's get this thing rolling a little bit.
Well, that was their jumbo package there with Reggie Jennings taking the snap.
Coming back on the counter. We told you the other set that they use with that is they have Jennings in there as the blocker. So I suppose every now and then you have to throw that poor guy a bone because he's been playing hard on defense. Now you bring him in offense, you get to block, but we are going to give you 1 chance to carry the ball.
4th and 4 here for the Lancers. And again, the direct snap to Heckman. He's going to throw the halfback option back in the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Thomas Gibson. This time it was from Heckman, taking the direct snap and tossing it himself.
Now, we told you earlier that you're going to see any one of 3 or 4 different people throw the ball for Brook Central. And if you start flying up, try to stop Heckman, just dumps the little pass over your head.
Gibson's 2nd touchdown tonight.
And once again, because they have that same formation and the run with the direct snap to Heckman, you're not quite sure what's coming.
Extra points have been an adventure here tonight, but that one is through by Parker Jensen. 36-12, so they take advantage of the short punt, the nice return, and it's all Brook Central here as we head back to the sidelines and Kara.
Finally, I've got a lady to join me down on the field here. I've got Gail Wiesoff of Northwest Surgery Center down here with me. Can you tell us a little bit about Northwest Surgery Center?
Sure. Northwest Surgery Center is an independently owned surgery center, and we do minimally invasive foot and ankle surgery. We don't use any internal fixation, no hardware. You walk in and you walk out the same day.
And you guys actually just moved locations, so where are you located now?
We did. We are now on the corner of Watertown Plank and Mayfair Road.
And what does it mean to be a part of Thursday Night Lights? Like, why are you guys excited to be here on the field with Thursday Night Lights?
Oh, we just love being part of all these little communities and talking to people one-on-one and explaining what we can do for them, and it's just a lot of fun to be here.
Well, I'm certain that football players are a wonderful prospect for a client for you, right?
Oh, most definitely, and so are their parents.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and for being such a great resource in our community, and back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. Quick drive there for the Lancers. And this time it'll bounce through the end zone for the automatic touchback. Spartans will get it at their own 20-yard line. 4 plays, 13 yards. The halfback pass that time. Thrown by Heckman to Gibson.
Once again, that score is kind of the result of that mishandled kickoff where he went out of bounds in 3, get the short punt, give Brookfield Central a short field, which is something you don't want to do.
We knew going in. We talked to Jed on Monday, and I got the feeling after we left practice, you and I talked a little bit about that too, that he was going to have the foot on the accelerator all night tonight.
Right, this was certainly a game where he wanted to remember what happened a year ago.
Caleb Wright off the option pitch, able to break a tackle, makes a nice run out across the 30-yard line. Nice run that time by Caleb Wright. The option pitch from his quarterback, Jake Groff.
Yeah, on Monday when we were at practice, as practice came to a conclusion, Jed was pointing over to this corner of the field in the end zone at the south end, reminding him that the last time Brookfield East was here, they were celebrating their win in the playoffs. So a little bit of payback, I'm sure, is on Brookfield Central's mind.
Some room to work. Out across the 38-yard line, gain of 18, and now a penalty marker before the snap.
We got a legal substitution. 12 men on the field for the offense. The 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
He can't be making mistakes like that, particularly after a nice run, and then you end up with 12 in the huddle.
Right, I mean, and he said we didn't want to see East get overwhelmed by the moment. You know, they've had their way in their first 4 games, and now they're facing a really tough competitor.
This will be Parbs now in at quarterback, the junior, going to take the snap here. Again, he's going to keep it and just dive forward, get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he wanted to hand that one off to Gavin Post and either lost control of the ball and thought better of it. A little option read there.
Yeah, and Jake Groff got a little dinged up in last week's game, and so I'm sure they're trying to feel their way through. They've already kind of decided not to use Sam Santiago-Lloyd this half, so I think we'll have to see how they're going to do it.
I like mine a little well done. I don't think we're going to get our hamburgers tonight, Terry. Second and 15. Again, Parb's going to throw it out near side, overthrowing Patrick Cartier, incomplete. Again, Cartier goes 6'6", 195, but he would need to be 7'9" in order to haul that one down.
Right, they had that wonderful toss to him in the first half where Jake Graff was able to throw that long pass and Cartier was able to take it in.
Now quickly, now 3rd and 15 facing the Spartans here. They trail 36-12 midway through our third quarter.
Yeah, coming in tonight, Justin Parbs was 4 for 7 in the year, so we told you he's trying to do about 5 different jobs during the course of the evening.
This will be Groff at quarterback once again. Parbs goes in motion, and play whistle dead again.
Prior to the snap, delay a game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Everything falling apart here early in this third quarter for Brookfield East.
Yeah, the momentum shift at the end of the first half has really carried over to the start of this half.
Yeah, the field goal to end the half, and off that big pass play with no timeouts left, they were able to clock the ball and get the field goal unit on, and the 20-yard field goal to end the half, and then tack 7 more on here early in the third. It's again Groff. Give it to Caleb Wright. Nowhere to go. Ackman was one of the first, Ackwood, I should say, first person in there for the Central Lancers. Sam Ackwood going both ways on the line. First team all-conference and captain for this season for the Lancers.
Yeah, number 64, Quinn Anderson, was also in there getting one of the assists. They're putting a lot of pressure on that offensive line for Brook East.
Baden, along with Heckman. As Bauer, again, a short kick. This won't even make midfield. It'll take a backward bounce. It'll bounce all the way back inside the 30-yard line. A 6-yard punt. And that is all she wrote there. That's going to set up Brookfield Central with excellent field position here.
Sometimes things go from bad to worse. And kicking game has been a little bit of a problem tonight for Brookfield East.
Well, Brookfield Central getting it back here, 6:09 to play. And kind of bag of tricks we're going to see here out of the Spartans, or out of the Lancers, I should say. It'll be a direct snap to Heckman coming around the left side. Heckman with some running room. Heckman down the sideline and out of bounds near the 20-yard line.
Well, Jed Kennedy will show you exactly what he wants to show you the rest of the way in terms of, do I want this next opponent to be thinking about the danger of this play? You're going to see our basic format, which is, we're going to snap that ball, get it to Heckman, either direct snap or a handoff. But we'll see what else he wants to unveil.
Pickup of 11. There's that spinner play. Lashinsky under pressure, and down he goes. First sack of the ball game here. Hauling him down for East that time. Ron Edwards off that defensive line, able to get through. Nice job clearing the line and getting to Lashinsky for the sack back near the 30-yard line.
He beat the center on his block that time, quickly got upfield and put the pressure on Lashinsky.
Second down and 20. 5.5 minutes to play here in the third. Lashinsky will take the snap. Play fake, now scrambling to his right. Pump fake and take it upfield. Breaking tackles. Lashinsky gets it back to near the 20-yard line once again. Gain of about 9 on the play for Lashinsky. A good job in coverage down there by the Spartan defense.
Yeah, Lashinsky's not afraid to run with the ball either. He's been averaging about 6 yards per carry on the year.
Covered short, and they were covered deep that time. Deep man was Gibson again back in the end zone. So 3rd and 9 now for Brookfield Central. And we'll hand it off on the jet sweep to Thomas Gibson. Gibson coming around the right side, inside the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Another gain of 10, another first down. And again, this season, first down sponsored by Wisconsin Lutheran College, located in Milwaukee, a comprehensive Christian college offering 37 undergraduate majors, an accelerated degree completion program for adult learners, and graduate degree options. You can learn more at WLC.edu. First and goal from the 7. He's going to get the play signaled in and then call it from the line of scrimmage. It's going to be quarterback draw. Quarterback inside the 5. Lashinsky lowers his head to the 2. Come up about a yard shy of the first down. Not a bad play to run behind Sam Ockwood. Try and find the end zone.
Right, Sam at 6'2", 250, moves his feet very well.
Mark it at the 3, second down and goal. Once again in the power zone, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. Banda and Heckman now split out to the left side. Empty look here. Lashinsky wants to put it up. Now under pressure. Lashinsky able to be pulled down from behind. Dottie again. 3rd sack tonight for Brad Dottie. He now has 9 tackles on the season, or on this game, I should say. He has been one of the bright spots for that East defense tonight.
Brad's a junior. He's flanked by 2 sophomore linebackers. It's a young team for Brookfield East. They had an excellent team last year. Real fine senior class.
The loss of 7 back to the 10-yard line sets up 3rd and 10. Send the man in motion. Again, they'll run it right, then toss it back left. We saw that play. John Neubauer to the end zone. Touchdown, Brooks Central.
And a little throwback. They get the action going to the right. That man in motion has gone all the way to the left side, and they just turn, pop it to him.
Neubauer in for the score. The junior, 5'11", 170 pounds, and he's excited. His first touchdown of the year. Once again, just getting mixed up. Again, you got to trust your eyes here, and you get caught up in all that motion in the backfield, and all of a sudden you let the guy go. Neubauer that time released around the edge after Lashinsky tried to run it right.
Typically, Brookfield Central's not going to come out and try to throw the ball all over the park. They're going to have their runs set up, their special pass plays.
We'll head to a break. 43-12 now in favor of Brookfield Central. Our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights in Brookfield tonight on My 24. Ten-yard touchdown pass by Lashinsky to John Neubauer. He's made it a 43-12 ball game. 2:55 to go here in the third. So the Spartans kind of lost that momentum. We talked about it coming in at halftime. They gave up the big play at the end of the first half that led to the field goal. Then the near safety had to punt it out from their own end zone. The return back to the 15 as this one again will skip through the end zone for the touchback. And a couple of quick early scores. And now this drive, you had a couple of nice defensive plays but weren't able to finish it off.
Right, and the last thing you can afford to do is give Brookfield Central a short field. And through a couple of miscues and problems they've been having moving the ball, they're setting Brookfield Central up in just perfect position.
Well, it's the show featuring 2 adults, 1 kid, and no grown-ups. Don't miss 2.5 Men. That's weeknights at 5 and 5:30 on Milwaukee's My 24. Groff working from the gun. Fake the handoff. Now we'll pitch it back, and there's nowhere to run for Parbs. He's going to circle back. Missed a couple of tackles. Still on his feet. Parbs able to make something out of nothing. There you go. Chopped steak into filet mignon right there.
Well, Justin's been given his all this game. He's trying to cover a variety of shortages now for the Brookfield East offense.
Nice job pivoting and reversing field there. He braked out of the Nick Lashinsky's grab. Stepped out of a potential tackle as well by Luke Blamer. Able to get it out of bounds. Able to get 3 out of all that, but it could have been a lot worse. Once again, Groff from the gun, 2nd down and 7 from the 23. Wants to throw, going far side, completes the pass. 2nd catch made tonight by Cartier. The big man, 6'6", 195, made a clutch catch inside the 5 back in the first half.
Still 3rd and short. The last thing you want to do is punt the ball back to Brook Central with how they've got that offense rolling. So they need this 1st down.
3rd and 1, we'll call it. Long one here for Groff and company. He's got Post in the backfield. Oh, Post on a broken play, missed the handoff that time, and Groff going to go down short of the 1st down. Wanted to hand it off inside. Post went to the outside.
And they're bringing linebackers almost every play, trying to put extra pressure on. And Brook Central's not going to let up as this game continues.
Bauer on again to punt this one away. Final minute here of this 3rd quarter. They're sending everybody here, nobody back. And gets this one away. High knuckling punt, takes a beautiful Brook East bounce inside the 30 and will roll dead at the 24-yard line. 48-yard punt with no return.
As a coach, you try to tell your punt returner, try not to turn a 20-yard punt into a 45-yard punt, but Brook Central was crowding the line of scrimmage. You were trying to put some pressure on.
Well, listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores this Saturday morning starting at 10. Milwaukee King head coach Tom Wozniak will join Mike McGivern and Tom Swittle to discuss Generals football in the Milwaukee City Conference. That's on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Short gain for Heckman. He's had a nice night tonight. A couple of touchdowns. Touchdown pass.
I think Nick Williams was in there, 5'10", 315-pound senior. trying to get off that block as Heckman gets those lead blockers coming through the hole.
And that'll end our third quarter here at Brookfield Central High School. Lancer country tonight, and it's been all Lancers. Brookfield Central on top of Brookfield East, 43-12. As we head to the fourth, our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. Fourth quarter about to start here at Lancer Field. Brookfield Central High School 43-12 in favor of Brookfield Central. They're facing a 2nd down and 7 going from right to left here in the fourth quarter. Lashinsky going to roll out to his right, dumps it off short and incomplete, one of the few times. Wasn't throwing on rhythm that time, looking for Jaden Benda that time.
Yeah, we should give a little tip of the hat, too, to the offensive line for Brookfield Central. We've got Cody Mua out at the left tackle, C.J. Haney at the guard, Alex Willie at the center, Jack Vetta at right guard, and Sam Ackwood, whom we've mentioned a number of times for offense and defense, at the other tackle.
Third and 7 from the 27-yard line. Unbalanced to the right. Blitz coming, now rolling right. Lachinsky trying to pass that one, nearly intercepted, and a flag goes down as well. Looks like Cam McDonald may have gotten a hand on that pass. We have a lineman downfield. Let's see.
There's no flag on the play. No flag on the play. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
So Gary Kufal waving off the penalty. Sets up a 4th and 7. Once again to the sidelines we go, and Mike McGivern.
So guys, the offensive coaching staff from Brookfield East asking these guys to finish this game with some pride. Continue to play hard, continue to run their stuff, and I think you'll see a pretty good effort from that offensive line in the fourth quarter.
Thanks, Mike. All season long, Mike and Carol have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, letting you know about the great things going on in schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports being brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Another penalty flag on the punt attempt.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So 5-yard walk-off here against the Lancers. Their first punt, I believe, tonight. Perhaps their second, Roddy Latinovich.
Yep.
I think they had one back in the first quarter, I think. Yeah. You can see how easily my attention span just fades away.
It was probably the fire that
I
broke
saw
out
that.
with the grill.
The grill master. Like my back patio a couple of weeks ago.
I thought we had one of those phones.
Snap over Latinovich's head. He'll fall on it back in the end zone. It'll go as a safety. And that's not going to make Jed Kennedy happy at all.
Well, the bad thing about a Thursday game is you've got that Friday practice,
Yes.
and I'm sure a couple of yards are not looking forward to coming out.
As right on cue. It's a high snap. And it was Ackwood, who we've been praising all night, doing the long snapping there, and got it up too high over the head of Latinovich. He covered it up, went in the turtle in the end zone, and 2 points for Brook East. Makes it 43-14, and coaching staff still coaching up here on that central sideline.
Well, Mike mentioned that Brookfield East wanted to play this fourth quarter out, show some pride, take advantage. Okay, now they've gotten the safety, they got to stop. Now, obviously, they'd love to go down, score a touchdown. By the way, we should maybe throw a little compliment to Mike McGivern. You know, we sometimes kid him, but the Wisconsin High School Football Coaches Association is going to honor him this spring for his contributions to high school sports. And so I think we certainly want to recognize all that Mike's done, not just for football, but basketball, and his work with the radio station as well as Channel 24. And he was your sidekick during basketball season for a couple of years.
Couple of years now, he's back on the sideline. But yes, a great award to Mike McGivern. We're honored to have him as part of our broadcast, and that's a nice award. The Spirit Award that the Coaches Association hands out every year, and Mike will be receiving that. That's terrific. Free kick upcoming. Scooped up by Parbs. He'll take it out across the 45, out to his own 47-yard line. So Brook East will get this one back near midfield. Try and, as we said, try and build this thing back up, playing for next week, trying to build something into next week.
Right, you still have to get to that 4-win mark in your conference to qualify for the playoffs. And so you have to maybe put this game back of your mind. You've learned from it, and then get ready to move forward.
And if you're joining us, Sam Santiago Lloyd did play the first half, much of the first half, went out the final 2 series of the second quarter and has not been in since because of that ankle injury. And Parms with nowhere to go, cut off as he tried to turn the corner. Nice defensive play that time by Bobby Ravanelli, the defensive captain, the inside linebacker, 5'10", 210. Parms saw him right in his headlights.
And all of a sudden you had Quinn Anderson work as well free. You've got Reggie Jennings in there. They're converging at the ball carrier.
A loss of 2, second down and 12 upcoming. We've got a player down, James Foster for Brookfield Central. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Well, while we have this moment here, we'll head down to Kara, who had a chance to visit earlier this week with John Griffiths from Menards.
Thank you so much. I've got John Griffiths, the store manager of the Germantown Menards, here with me. Now, John, can you tell us a little bit about Menards?
Menards is a family-owned and run company with the general office right here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We've got 300 stores throughout the Midwest, 12 stores in the Milwaukee area, including ours right here in Germantown.
And why is it important for Menards to be a part of initiatives like Thursday Night Lights?
Menards definitely understands the hard work and dedication it takes from our student athletes to achieve their goals both on the field and in the classroom, and we really appreciate all the support they get from their families, the coaching staff, their teachers, the community, and we're really proud to be a part of that support.
Well, we're glad to have you on board with us, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And back to you.
Kara and John, thank you so much, and we welcome back Menards once again this season. 11:27 to go here in the fourth. Foster was able to be helped over to the far sideline. Again, hopefully just a cramp, nothing more serious than that. Second down and 12 from the 47. And Caleb Wright gets it across midfield into Lancer territory, brought down near the 47-yard line.
That was one of the big backs that Coach Kennedy had mentioned during the week. They were anticipating seeing Sam Santiago Lloyd, and they also wondered would they be getting a dose of Caleb Wright, 6'4", 230-pound junior, who's excellent defensive end for him as well.
Quinn Anderson with another nice tackle there, fighting off that block. He's had a fine game tonight defensively for the Lancers as well. 3rd and 6. Roth, hitch and go, nothing going. Down he goes, 3rd sack tonight. Looked like Jennings was in there once again, along with Fearman. They'll give it to Fearman on the sack, his 2nd one tonight.
Right, he had 3 tackles for losses coming into tonight's game, and we mentioned that his hockey background, not skating around out there this evening. He's getting off the ball and putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
So East forced to punt again. Bauer punt this one away. Once again, Heckman and Gibson standing deep. Fair catch signaled for and bobbled it. Banda, I should say, back there. Bobbled it and fell on it after signaling for a fair catch, and he's down again.
With a cramp. Second time this evening. Even though it's a cooler evening, you're still sweating, and his teammate's going to help him off and give him a little rest.
Well, let's head down to the sideline. Mike, you have something, a story of some sort here.
So, boys, a long time ago, I was coaching baseball, and the Loshinsky boys on Brookfield Central, their dad, Paul Lashinsky, young enough to play Little League, I was coaching Pony League, convinced him to play up, and he was awfully good. On that team, Tony McCudden, Waukesha West dad. We were awfully good. They were much better without me coaching them than they were with me. But the Lashinskys, their dad, awfully good player, quarterback baseball player. Their Uncle Bob played quarterback at the Naval Academy. That's an awfully good athletic family right there.
Interesting story there. Some connections here in Brookfield.
Well, thinking of Mike as kind of the Casey Stengel of the softball circuit. Or maybe it's closer to Yogi.
Scales, I believe. Neubauer with the carry, I should say, excuse me. Gain of about 4, 2nd down and 6, 9.5 minutes to go in this one. Lancers comfortably in front. This will be Gibson. A nice run out near the 40-yard line, and another player down for Brookfield Central. Cody Mua. That's 8 tackles on the night for Cam McDonald tonight, who made the stop. And that, again, a first down brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College.
Don't know whether he had a cramp or maybe got kicked in the calf. He's moving pretty well, but getting him off the field as well.
Jed Kennedy won a state title with Kenosha Bradford. Went up to Pulaski, then went to Florida, came back here to Brookfield Central, and tell you what, he's got the foundation set here for Central with this young team. He didn't have much of a senior class this year, went to his sophomores, and he found a nice sophomore quarterback, as Mike has talked about, the Lashinsky family, Drew Lashinsky with the running the show, and really with the way he runs his offense, that's what you need, a quarterback who's as sharp as Lashinsky is as a sophomore.
As a sophomore, Dominic Levitar was, for 3 years was their quarterback and did an outstanding job for the Lancers.
2nd down and 10. Lashinsky again will keep it. Fights his way forward, may have gotten a yard, that's about it. Tell you what, Brookfield East not giving it at all. They're fighting right to the very end.
I mean, we mentioned that Coach Kennedy reminded his team of the 34-31 overtime loss in the playoffs last year after Brook Central had won the game during the regular season. Were the conference champions, fine 9-2 record. So they want to go the next step this year.
That's going to be a tough D2 field as well. Always is. Homestead in that mix, Waukesha West. We saw one of the other teams I think that's going to challenge next year as that pass goes incomplete. Waterford and Lake Geneva Badger out of that Southern Lakes Conference.
And we're waiting to see with Waukesha North. They've had a very good year as well. They're 4-0 at this point.
I would say the surprise team at that level right now.
So, that win for them over Arrowhead was, you hate to talk about things being program wins, but I'm sure you can't ignore the significance of that one.
Well, and it's particularly going into the remake of that league next year with Oconomowoc coming in. 4th down, they'll go for it here. Lashinsky will hand it off. This is Heckman coming around the left side. He'll be stopped at midfield short of the first down.
Yeah, Brookfield East wasn't going to yield. And you have to salute them for continuing to play hard. I'm sure they'd like offensive coordinator Coach Jacobson would love to see them put together a drive now and put some points up on the board.
There's Ben Farley, the head football coach, taking over for Tom Sweddle.
Ben was an outstanding player at Brookfield East, went on and played at Wisconsin Whitewater.
Groff from midfield. They run the option, the pitch back to Parbs. Justin Parbs trying to get that far side, lose a yard right at midfield. Able to track him down defensively was Luke Blamer, 6'1" junior, the cornerback, coming into the game. 2 tackles for loss, also has an interception to his credit thus far.
Yeah, came up, filled real well. Position.
Number 1 unit still out there defensively for Jed Kennedy and Brookfield Central here with 7:40 to play in the ball game and his team up 43-14. Groff will give it to Caleb Wright, right to the middle of that defensive line, and that's as far as he will get.
Well, being rivalry week, this is certainly a rivalry game, but I think the Lancers are trying to make a statement. They're trying to let everybody know in this area of the state they are a force to be reckoned with come playoff time.
That is going to be the gauntlet in Division II. You figure you got Homestead in there. We talked about Waukesha North, Waukesha West in that mix, Waterford, Lake Geneva Badger. My goodness.
Well, Coach Kennedy talked to his team Monday night, said we don't talk about just winning conference championships. Our goal from the outset is to win a state title.
3 receivers to the near side on 3rd and 9. The hitch and go down the far side has Cartier open. Makes the catch inside the 30 and out of bounds near the 25-yard line. They'll mark him out at the 21.
Nice fake. The quarterback just gave it a little, lowered the shoulder, a little pump action, and then Coach probably said, okay, we've got this one open. They're coming up to fill very quickly.
Able to float Cartier behind Thomas Gibson, the last man back. Able to shove him out of bounds at the 21. 30-yard pickup on that pass play. 6:45 to go here in the ball game. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Groff again rolling right. Wants to pitch it out right side, and it goes incomplete. Looking for Cam Bauer. 5'10", 155-pound junior. Led him just a little bit too far to the boundary that time. That's a tough pass for a quarterback, rolling right, throwing right. You have to get the feet and the shoulders all set at the time you release.
As we said, he was bumped up a little bit last week, missed the second half of their game against West Ellis Hale. And so I know they're happy to see him back this week, and he's accounted for himself pretty well given the pressure he's been under.
Again, trips to the right side. Single receiver left side is Cartier. Right in the backfield is Groff. Wants to go over the middle. Ball is tipped and knocked away, incomplete. Luke Blamer again getting a hand on that one to knock that one away from the intended receiver. With a couple of nice deflections tonight. Take one more look. Jump right in front of the receiver, Peyton Simon.
Definitely 4-down territory for East right now. So
from the 21, 3rd and 10. Parbs in motion. It'll be Groff on the keep, and Groff barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Nice defense that time. So now we're starting to see some guys filter in. Anthony Borowski coming in there to make the stop.
And they're not, Brookfield East isn't getting the blocking for their run game to be successful. And Central keeps putting the pressure on, and they're not going to let up.
Loss of 1, 4th and 11, back at the 22. Midway point of our 4th quarter. Let's see what Groff has in mind here. Again, Cartier split to the left, 3 receivers split right. Caleb Wright, the single back in the backfield. On 4th and 11, going to shoot the end zone. It's going to go high and incomplete. Once again, looking for the Peyton Simon. And that will turn it over on downs, and we'll take our break as well. Brookfield Central in command, 43-14 over Brookfield East. Our Badger Max Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My24. Lancers over the Spartans midway through our 4th. John Weiser, Terry Kelly with you in the booth. Mike McGivern and Kara down on the sideline. Our entire My24 sports team with you in Brookfield tonight. And a direct snap to Heckman again, and Heckman going to wrestle his way out for a couple of yards. Heckman having a pretty good ball game, a pair of touchdowns tonight. Really, he got this team going. It was steady dose of Heckman on that first touchdown drive in the first quarter, and he really helped get this offense on their feet here, and off they went.
Threw that nice pass.
Yes,
as
he
well.
did.
So all-around performance by the young man.
Again, he'll take the direct snap, working around the right side. finds his way across the 30-yard line. He is stopped there. And into linebacker back there. That was Cam McDonald again. McDonald had a nice ball game. Double-digit tackles tonight for Brookfield East. Both he and Dottie have played well tonight defensively despite the score. They have made some plays tonight on defense. So you get a look at Heckman on the sideline. Gonna catch a breather here. Shinsky will run the counter play inside, and again read well by the East defense. Ron Edwards, defensive lineman, in there now. Able to step up and make the play for the Spartans. So 4th and 3 from the 20, make it the 30-yard line. Get this shift to an unbalanced line, and immediately a flag goes down. And I don't know if there was movement up front, if one of the members of the defensive line may have jumped the neutral zone.
Prior to the play, encroachment by the defense, be a 5-yard penalty, resulting in a first down.
I think it might have been Caleb Wright who, at the sign of that shifting, jumped into the neutral zone.
Saw him hit himself in the head on the helmet. Not happy to have been drawn offside, but that's it. You know, the shift that they can employ at any time.
Well, the first down by penalty here. So 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Lancers. Again, Lashinsky will circle around the right side across the 40, spins out of a tackle across the 45, and knocked out at the 47-yard line.
And other than the center, Alex Willie, they have an all-new offensive line in there right now for Brook Central. Looks like they might be taking Lashinsky out as well.
Be his final play. McDonald got a piece of him, but was able to step out of that tackle, and Joey Pagel able to come by and clean him up. 13 yards and a first down once again. And a direct snap going to Michael Giannopoulos. Giannopoulos listed as a running back, but 5'10", 140-pound junior. 10 carries, 84 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Well, Brookfield Central's been putting up close to 50 points a game this year, so a number of these backs have had an opportunity to get yards as well as scores. Brookfield East trying to get ready next week. They play Tosa East. Meanwhile, Brook Central will be headed off to have an important game against Marquette.
Marquette facing Tosa East tomorrow night at Hart Park. This is Lashinsky again coming in at running back here. Drew Lashinsky gets to midfield and is driven back. Nice open field tackle there. Patrick Cartier on defense here. Getting some time in at defensive back here. He starts as wide receiver.
Now there are 2 Cartier brothers on here. They're twins. Everett is 6'3", 235. Patrick is 6'6", 195. So I'm not sure who's getting the most food. We've got height, we've got weight. Each guy.
3rd and 7 here from the Spartan 49-yard line. Wants to throw, comes up, completes the pass right across the 40-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. There's Jimmy Rogers taking that snap, tossing it out there to Thomas Gibbons. They'll pick up another first down, brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College. Another look. Lefty here. Just hit the man underneath, right in front of Cartier that time. 1:50 to go. Clock rolling. Central going to get to 5-0, 3-0 in the league, and it off. Giannopoulos, nowhere to go. Once again, Cam McDonald there to make the play. Giannopoulos trying to get the edge and fought his way through first man through there, Joey Pagel, and then it was McDonald who got in there to wrap him up.
Only a sophomore, 5'8", 150 pounds.
McDonald has played well here tonight. He's one of the bright spots on that defense for East.
He and Brad Dottie.
Yep. Then they'll go in that unbalanced line shift here. And this will be keeper by Rogers. Takes the snap, circles around the right side, gets it down to about the 35-yard line. 45 seconds remaining. Well, 2 FBI agents investigate the strange and unexplained. Don't miss the cult classic, The X-Files. Returns Thursdays at 7, starting October 20th, right here on My 24. Giannopoulos still in there. Also Rogers do some shifting around now. It looks like Giannopoulos will take the snap. Rogers steps in front. He'll get the snap himself. He'll run it inside the 35-yard line, and that should do it. Put this one away tonight for Brookfield Central. They win the Battle of Brookfield and get some revenge here from that playoff loss on this field last October, that overtime loss to Brookfield East. So Central gets to 5-0, 3-0 in the league. First loss of the season for Brookfield East. They're now at 4-1 and 2-1 in conference play. 43-14 your final here tonight. We'll step out and take a break. When we come back, our post-game awards, including our player of the game and the awarding of the trophy, when we come back on My 24. Brookfield Central with a win on their home turf tonight. The Lancers knocking off Brookfield East by a final of 43-14. And impressive win here for Brook Central as they improve their record now to 5-0 and 3-0 in the Greater Metro Conference.
Right, and that's been their goal. They wanted to get through this season, but they're pointing for the playoffs.
And they certainly look like a playoff-driven team here tonight. And as we head down to the sideline, and Mike McGivern with our player of the game.
So, boys, U.S. Army player of the game, Zach Heckman. 20 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I'm sitting here talking to him, and he goes, I know exactly who I'm going to thank. Congratulations, U.S. Army player of the game.
Thank you. This is a team award, especially the O-line.
That's a running back right there. O-line. He loves that O-line. U.S. Army, here we go.
On behalf of the U.S. Army, congratulations, Zach. Fine performance, man.
Thank you.
Job, Zach. Back to you, boys. We'll get Coach Kennedy here in a minute.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. So Zach Heckman, the junior running back for Brookfield Central, our player of the game tonight. As Mike mentioned, his numbers tonight, 20 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including he also tossed a touchdown pass here tonight, but really he got the offense going tonight.
Right. His running in the first half set up so much of what they did, and obviously Drew Lashinsky, their sophomore quarterback, also had a good game. Nice to have a sophomore and a junior. Nice thing about those guys, they're coming back.
Heckman's 2 touchdown runs tonight. Also threw a touchdown to Thomas Gibson tonight, a 9-yard touchdown pass. Our Army player of the game, brought to us all season long by the U.S. Army. Army strong. Once again, downstairs to Mike McGivern and Coach Kennedy and the Badger Max Thursday Night Lights trophy.
It's a Badger Max Thursday Night trophy. Coach, that's a good win for you guys. Crosstown rival, big win in conference. You got to be proud of these boys.
We coach them hard, and they play even harder, and we love them hard. Proud of these kids. They respond every day. We don't get big into catching, circling one. We can't wait for this week, the crosstown rival. We just take everything we do is built around competing for a state championship effort, state championship focus. And, with that being said, I'd be lying if I didn't say we had a little extra motivation when, they are waving a flag on our 50 last year and hooting and hollering, and we got seniors laying on the ground playing their last game. We didn't take too kind to that. Yep. And we had great focus. Like we had our best week of practice all year. And, like we told our kids, people might say, geez, you're not overly excited. We got another big one next week against Marquette. And our goal is just to be better today than we were last week, and better next week than we were this week.
Coach, you've been through this now for a while. You've been a coach a long time, and you understand to make sure your team's playing the best football at the end of the the year. And we've had this conversation. He said, look, yeah, it's a big win and it's a big game, but the following week is just as big. Marquette is good. After that, this is who we have. As a coach, I know we don't look ahead, we work ahead, and certainly these guys know what's coming up next week. They enjoy tonight, but then you get back to after it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we tell them. I mean, we're going to enjoy this. I mean, it's hard to win football games now, especially against good opponents like Brookfield East, and they're a good team. So we're going to enjoy it tonight, and we tell them when you wake up tomorrow morning, that one's over. Now our focus is Marquette. And what's impressed me about this group so much is they've bought into everything we're selling. And when you have kids who buy into what you're selling, you got a chance. Yeah. And I always tell them I don't probably give them enough compliments. But I look forward to coming to practice every day. They work their rear ends on. I would not trade this group for any group ever. They work their tails off, and they play physical football, and they play it the right way.
Hey, Coach, if they could have heard some of the things that you talked about with me when we were on a break on my high school football coaches show, when you said, hey, look, I'm not going to promote these guys too heavy, but these guys work harder, as hard as any team that I've had.
Yeah, I mean, we talked. I mean, the people ask how many of our kids lift. They all lift. And, you win football games from August, I should say from November to August, and we had an unbelievable, we were, out of our upperclassmen, 80, if they were not playing a sport, they were in the weight room. And if they weren't in the weight room, our seniors were getting them in the weight room. It was unbelievable. And I told our coaches, we graduated a lot of folks. Yeah, I think 97% of our offense, we're young. And I told them, I said, expectations aren't going to change around this program. And they've really bought into that, and it goes out to them. I mean, this is we got great kids, and they do everything we ask them to do, and I can't say that enough. And tell you what, I'm pretty fun to come coach this group every day.
Hey, I love seeing that spark back in your eye. Kevin Mazza from Badger Max. Kevin, come on back, Coach. Come on back. Come on, man. Where are you going? I didn't tell you to go. I'm just kidding. Kevin Mazza.
Coach, I won't bite you, man.
Get excited, right?
Hey,
here we go.
Coach, love the mantra, week to week. Big conference win for you guys. Proud of you guys. Well done today. Congratulations, guys.
Here you go. You got it.
Mike, get out of there.
Can't get out, boys.
Run, Mike, run. Brookfield
either.
Brook Central with the win here tonight over Brookfield East. A big one here tonight for the Central Lancers as they take it 43-14. Back with a final word right after this. 43-14, your final tonight. Brookfield Central over Brookfield East. Dominant fashion here tonight. Terry Kelly, final thoughts on this one?
Well, it's a convincing win for the Lancers. I'm sure they were kind of posting notice to the rest of the Greater Metro Conference. We're coming, and we're coming hard. And that's Coach Kennedy's message.
That's next week as well. We're coming, and we're coming hard back to Kenosha. We're heading down to the brand new Mary D. Bradford Stadium as Bradford takes on crosstown rival Indian Trail High School, the inaugural game in the brand new Mary D. Bradford Stadium. We'll have that for you next week, Thursday night at 7, right here on My 24. Our thanks tonight to Kara and Mike McGivern, to Eric Murray, our spotter, Tom Sweddle, our stat man, and for Terry Kelly on color analyst here tonight, John Weiser, thanking you for tuning in. And good night from Brookfield, Brookfield Central over Brookfield East. Until next week, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Badger Max Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center.
Badger Max Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24, is brought to you by Badger Max Premium Sports Drinks. Drink it to the max. Northwest Surgery Center, Menards, and by Wisconsin Lutheran College. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan.